place now where yeah. As you all know, I'm Mseki. I'm the principal of Mabenane, as we call it, SOS, but the School of Specialization. And we specialize in math, science, and ICT. The school is in Karampua. We have 921 learners who are basically from underprivileged area, and it's a no-fee school. That's maybe where I can stop. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's talk about your journey, Lydia. Yes, it was a little bit bumpy, but just in terms of what would you say to another principal that says, I want to become part of, or I've been invited?
If it was me, I'll say every principal should get this opportunity because it's really good. It empowers, it helped me a lot to grow. It helped me a lot to look into myself in the mirror and say, I can do this. I remember the first time Caroline came to my school and told me about this, that the district has chosen me to be in the program. I said, no ways. I don't want to study anything. I don't want to write assignments. I don't want anything to do with that. Then she explained to me that it has nothing to do with writing assignments per se, but basically to develop you to be a better principal. And I did not regret the day I signed the papers. Thank you.
Thank you. What difference has it made for you, Lydia? Whilst your partner is still getting his breath.
It really made a very big impact, personally and at the school. I'm a better principal. I say that to myself. I'm always saying, asserting myself that I'm the best. In Harampua secondary schools, I'm the only female principal. The rest or most of them are in primary schools. So I take the challenge as it comes. That's why my school was even privileged to be upgraded to be a school of specialization due to the interest of learners, the interest of their performance, and the interest of their background as such. So yeah, basically I'm okay. I can encourage every principal, if it was possible, to be in the group and make sure that we all improve our schools.
Thanks, Lydia. Meneer, a young entrepreneur. Please introduce yourself.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Brandon Fernandez. So once again, sorry I'm late. We had a break-in at one of our client sites, and there's still some equipment we installed. So yeah, it's a bit challenging. It's a government site, so yeah. So I am an entrepreneur. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Graphene Tech. She stands for Grand African Innovative Technologies. We're an artificial intelligence technology company that focuses on building customer-tailored solutions that collect data, analyze it, and extract insights that are presented through business intelligence dashboards. So the dashboards that we build show you key performance indicators that are important for your business that we then derive by analyzing the data that you have. It could be data that's existing or data that will help you collect using a number of sensors, smart IoT sensors. It could be fleet management, tracking devices, or fuel sensors, etc., that help you make informed decisions for your business. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So let's talk about your journey. We met very briefly and I said, are you getting on board? And you said yes. And then the journey started, and you were always saying that as an entrepreneur, you really got very valuable skills that made a difference in your team and how you engage clients as well.
Correct.
And even in the family.
Yes. Yes, yeah. So when I joined the program, I wasn't too sure exactly what the program is going to be about. But what I really liked about it as we were going through the different activities is it's practical skills that we're learning. And you really never know what you don't know until you know, right? So, so there are very few simple things that when you read from the books or when you're doing the exercises, you find them, you ask yourself, why didn't I know this? Like, for example, just listen without interrupting the person who's speaking, right? It makes a huge difference. Ask questions. Someone who's asking you for solutions probably already has a solution in mind. They just need you to direct them to that solution by asking them questions. Practical things like appreciation rounds, just making sure everyone's voice is heard in the room. It goes a long way. They're very simple tips that, you know, I learned through this program, but they go a long way in terms of improving the quality of the relationships with your employees, even your customers, as well as with family relations as well. The leadership skills that I learned through this program sort of cut crosses in different spheres of my life. So I'm really grateful that I participated in this program. I learned a lot more than I could have anticipated at the beginning. So yeah, happy about that.
How did it make a difference in your team as well?
Yeah, so with my team, it's the practical things that we've learned that we have to implement, like the appreciation rounds, and also with regards to my team engaging customers, there's a whole section we did on consulting, you know, and there's a lot of information that we got there, like recontracting. If relationships are not working there, so they should, maybe it's time to just sit back at the table and, you know, speak to the people and understand how we can sort of realign ourselves and go forward. So it's been impactful in that way.
Thank you. Lydia, so you were this tiny lady with this tall partner. and what was the beauty of having a partner, especially in the good times and the not so good times?
Yeah, the beauty of having a partner during those times is you at least have somebody to lean on. You have somebody to say, I'm in trouble. We have somebody to say, I'm happy. We have somebody to say, let's do this together. With regard to what Brandon has just said, I've been from schools, I've never been from school since April, but all the qualities, all the principles that we practice here are just moving on. Without me, I could see that I've planted a seed whereby people can work on their own without being time and again calling me to say, this is what we want. They could sit on their own in the meeting, every voices are equal, and they can decide together and make sure that the school is running without me. That is good, that is very good.
For better or for worse. So tell us about your partnership and also your engagement with the circle, because I know you formed other relationships where you were working together outside this sphere.
Yes. So yeah, for the partnership, it's Lydia and I got along from the moment we started having our meetings, right? She's a very kind person that is welcoming. So for me, that made it easier for us to sort of connect and share truthfully and without fear of judgment or anything. So whatever it is that I could be struggling with, be it in business or even in personal life, she has always been a person I could count on. And sometimes I think when you go through certain things, you just want a voice that would listen to you, right? They don't have to have a magic wand or anything. But I think Lydia does have a magic wand. So for me, the quality of our relationship obviously strengthened over time, and that really made it really good to have a partner like her, because then whatever activities that we do in the partnership that are required by the program, it's good. We can sort of leverage the strength of our relationship to get to whatever we need to get to, but also an opportunity to learn from my circle. Really, you guys are amazing. I've learned so much from all our engagements, from each one of you, and it's not something that, you know, I've never went into any activity and walked out without learning something new from anyone. So it's been really great, and we were able to sort of extrapolate that relationship and take it elsewhere. Like, for example, there's Michelle. Michelle and I consider working on a few projects together, but those are things that come out of, or the possibilities rather, that come out of this kind of circle. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and I know there's one photograph where the three of you are together at school.
Yes.
Because you needed one of your projects to move and you asked Michelle to intervene. And,
Yes.
and I was with you when you called him and he said, I'll be there.
And he was there on time.
So tell us about your projects. There are things that you still want to do, but maybe start at the two that you actually got off the ground in terms of the stick and the car.
Okay.
And who's going?
She can go.
Okay, when we started with our school being a school of specialization, we are supposed to do some projects which were to be approved by the NEC and the DDG, our Bernstein, Advocate Bernstein. So we have to come with a project that is a wow project that nobody knows about it. That will be our first creation with learners. So they thought about the problems in the community, and they come up because the area where our school is situated, there are some blind people there. So they decided, okay, how about we do a blind stick? This blind stick, it is not ordinary because it has detectors
Sensors,
or
yeah.
sensors in it, whereby a blind person will be able to see, or not actually see, but feel the obstacles in front of them so that they should not be falling or be in trouble because of that. And that initiation also was supported by Brandon because we had a blind stick. We know what we wanted to do with the blind stick, but we have no resources to do the blind stick. So he came up handy to say, no, we can do this, and even we can do goggles. Remember the goggles?
Yes.
Yeah, for the blind. If we have goggles for the blinds, we add camera into it, and then it will show that if there's something behind or before the blind, it will beep to say, you are having an obstacle in front of you. Yeah, it was very good. Everybody was excited about it, and even the NEC was very nice. He felt like a blind person closing the letters were saying to him, close your eyes, have a stick, move around. And they put some obstacles whereby when he get to the obstacle, it will sense and make some noise to say, now you are getting into the wrong direction. It was a wow. It was a wow. The second project that we did was during the festival. The School of Specializations have festivals. There are only 36 schools in Gauteng, the whole of Gauteng. So we come together, they call it a festival, where learners showcases their talents, what they can do, what their talents are. So in our case, we did not have money by then, and we didn't know what we were doing. Oh, it's a car. Okay. We started the car from scratch with the desk remnants, those that are broken, and then we get some sheets. Learners got a scooter engine, we got the quad bikes, wheels, and then we struggle sometimes with the wires to connect. That's where Brandon and Michelle came in and say, okay, this is the car, so what? Because it's moving. So we decided to have something that can add value to the car. We also use sensors to say, especially the background was in the mining sector, where are so many casualties. Before a person could be in trouble or being hit by the car, the sensor should stop. The car should stop immediately. So basically, that's the highlights of our project.
Your house.
Yes, and the house. Yeah, as schools, I think we are working far more than ordinary public schools because they expect a specialization from these learners. They expect to showcase their talents. and to check on their environment, come up with the problems that beset their environment. So our learners came up with this idea to build a house. And this house was just a very special house. It was built from empty bottles, and they put in sand. It had a foundation like an ordinary house, and it was built like a house. The advantage of this house is it can stand longer periods than an ordinary house because it's built on bottles, and the bottles don't get cracked, don't get heat, unless even if it's fire, it cannot catch fire because it has sand inside it. And it is more warmer in winter and cool in summer. The house was not just an ordinary house. It has to have an electricity in it. So the learners use it as their study room at home, whereby we had a problem with electricity, time and again it's load shedding, so they use solar. They started solar from scratch to make sure that the house has lights inside. The house has, we can connect your computer when you're studying, and it really worked. It was wonders. Yeah.
You want to talk to the challenges that you also identified that you guys wanted to address, or are you going to do that?
Sure. Just to add. So the other part is it contributes towards recycling, right? We've got a plastic problem where we consume things and the plastic just ends up anywhere, right? So our landfills are piling up. Just as an interesting fact, in 2009, the country had about 49 landfills, 49. Today we have over 1,050 landfills. So we're just piling up stuff and finding a new place to pile it up because we're not recycling enough. So that's really scary, and projects like this really help us recycle or be responsible with our, recyclable materials. So the other challenges that we faced at the school, so these are some of the projects that we did, but there are still some projects that we have not been able to do due to resource constraints. But we are still going to go do them because our partnership is not really stopping today. Lydia is a partner for life. So the first problem that we identified was around learners reading without understanding. It's a big problem because you find learners that come from especially rural areas like the school where Lydia's school is, where English is not their first language. I also come from a village, and I know that it was also very difficult to firstly translate something into your own language so that you can understand before you actually get to deal with the actual physics question or whatever the case may be. So that's the first challenge that we identified at the school. The other challenge that we saw was that the school got a donation of a computer lab by the Department of Education, very nice computer lab, fully equipped, but there is no security at the lab, so there are no cameras, there's no access control systems, and the problem is because the school is located at a township, they have had break-ins before. I think even as recent as this year, we had another break-in at the school where they stole some equipment. So the equipment is at risk, and Lydia sleeps with one eye open, so that's really not nice. And that's the second problem that we identified at the school. The third problem is not really a problem, but more of an opportunity for improvement, is around, so the school has a goal of reaching 100% pass rate in matric, right? And they've been moving towards that target every year, closer and closer. But we had a discussion with my partner to say, how about we start helping the school make more data-driven decisions towards achieving that goal? So helping them analyze their data and building dashboards for them to be able to monitor key performance indicators, to see where they are sort of, maybe learners are falling off in the different subjects, how are they doing in the weekly tests or monthly tests, and to see if, however they're performing, if we think they'll still be able to reach the targets that they need to reach at the end of the year. If not, what kind of interventions do we need to do while there's still time instead of waiting, obviously, for exam time, right? So that's the second opportunity. That's the first opportunity for improvement that we saw at the school. The second one is around just generally improving the learner's interest in maths, science, as well as ICT by running activities such as hackathons or Maths Olympiad, the Science Olympiad, even if it's just something that we're doing within the school initially, just to give them motivated, give them prizes for competing in such things. And we could also then expand it for them to compete with the schools within the region. So those are the key areas, the problems that we faced and the opportunities for improvement at the school.
Thank you, guys. So anything more that you would like to say? Lydia.
Yes, I'd like to thank everybody. Instead of Dr. Mariette, you've been so considerate, holding me by my hand, checking on me, and making sure that I don't give up. Thank you so much. You are the best. Thank you. And thank you, colleagues, for being there for me all the time. When I was down on my knees, you hold my hand and say, we go up, we go forward. And here we are, ending the project or ending the journey together. Thank you so much. Brandon, forward we go.
Always.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lydia, for the kind words. So, yeah, I would also like to thank you, Dr. Mariette. I think you've played a really critical role in driving this program, especially because you really took, principals are very busy people, same as business leaders, they are all very busy people, but you somehow find a way to make us make time, and you're very patient with us as well, very understanding. So thank you so much for that. I think it was really great. And I look forward to further engagements and building our relationship even further beyond the program. Same as Lydia, thank you so much for being the partner that you are, and a friend that I know I can always count on, call about anything. And yeah, Lydia is always willing to help. She has a very generous heart. And thank you to the circle. You really made it amazing. I think every one of you, there's something I can say about you. I don't know if time will allow, but really, thank you, Not. Thank you very much. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you to you both. And I must say, Brendan, you clearly did catch up very well in translating from mother tongue to English, because he ended in his rural school with quite a number of distinctions, which earned him a passage into UCT. So yes, thank you to you both, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the results from the two of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.